You ever left your house without your driver's license, without your wallet, without your purse? If you're pulled over by the CHP, it's up to the officer to decide whether to impound your car. They could write you a ticket. They could let a relative take you home. But what if state law mandated you don't have your license, they're going to seize your car? That might become law in Denver, Colorado. It's on the ballot tomorrow. Those in favor think it gets unlicensed drivers off the road. Maybe not a bad idea. Opponents believe it'll target illegal immigrants, noting it would require police to take the cars of anyone suspected of being illegal. Debra, is this something California should consider?
Absolutely, 100%. I'm a very liberal human being, and I still believe that this is something that would work. It would make those who are really accountable remain accountable, and those who are not have their car impounded and taken away. Absolutely, I believe in this.
Ron?
Well, I think we do it to a degree already. The cops have handheld computers. They can check whether you are, in fact, a licensed driver who's not carrying your license, whether you're registered, whether you're carrying proof of insurance. And the truth is a lot of illegal immigrants get their cars impounded for various kinds of traffic infractions already in this state. So it's a big problem for them. They drive very old cars and often can't bail them out. They just buy another car. So I'm not sure how much difference it would make and whether it's just good theater and winding up in the end punishing ordinary citizens who, in fact, merely are on the road without their valid license.
Yeah, that's my concern. I mean, I have done it a couple of times. I'm not proud to say it. I've run out of the house.
Then don't do it anymore.
Well, thank you. But sometimes, Debra, you run out of the house, you don't have your wallet, or you thought you left it somewhere, you don't have your license.
Don't run out of the house without it.
I'm aware of that. But should
That's
they
your mama talking.
I hear my mama. Thank you, Mama. But should they take my car? Should they just take my car arbitrarily?
I have a feeling that you would be looked at, Fred Roggin, as someone who is not suspicious. I think to a certain extent it will require that you look at that and make individual decisions while still remaining in the context of the law.
I'd be the first person they take in. Let me tell you something. They know me all too well. Hey, and let me ask you this real quick. Either one of you take it. Racial profiling, is this a concern here if we're just going to yank people's cars?
I don't know.
For me, no.
I agree with Debra completely. I don't think it's about racial profiling. I think it's about legislators grandstanding in a state where the immigration issue is a hot one.
Deb, you want the last word?
The last word is this: don't leave home without it. And I'm not talking about your American Express card. I believe this 100%. And I think, finally, certain loopholes within certain legislation will be closed.
All right. Let's hit our last topic here. It's an issue being discussed in Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, Malibu, and Santa Monica. Should these cities have a law banning veterinarians from declawing cats? If you own a cat, what do you think? The only exception would be removing claws that would address the medical needs of a cat, such as an infection or recurring illness. Now, Ron, something tells me you have a dog. Am I correct?
I do have a dog.
You're a pet lover? What do you think? Is this a good idea?
I'd like to have his teeth removed so he wouldn't scare everybody. He's such a big and scary dog. It's a terrible thing to do. I mean, removing an animal's claws, why it's an issue, they can pass it in one city or another. Somebody who's really hell-bent on doing it is going to go to a vet in a neighboring town. I mean, it's just uncivilized practice, if you ask me. Does it take legislation, or is that just another example of trying to please the very strong pet activist community and at a time when we're not dealing with 1,000 more serious issues?
Debra?
Let me tell you something. This is an unusual subject for me, but at the same time, it hit home. First of all, I am an animal activist, and I'm very staunch at it.
You sure
Secondly,
are.
I have 2 cats, and I have had them declawed at the age of 6 months and a little bit older. And I'll tell you why, although it is cruel at the moment and feels unusual, and definitely it causes some pain, once they heal, they forget it. Your house stays protected, especially if you have indoor cats. Now, my cats are spoiled rotten. They have 3 floors to run around. They have their own playpen. I clean up their poop, and I guarantee you that they're fine. When it comes to infection, it is a rarity. When it comes to lasting pain, it is a rarity. Yes, it is very painful initially, but then again, so is elective surgery for any human being as well. They heal, they get over it, and they have a quality of life, especially if they're indoor animals like mine are.
So what are you suggesting here? You're saying if they're indoor animals, you think it's okay?
Absolutely. And I think where the cruelty lies is in the border of doing their back claws. Usually it's just the front claws. The back claws, just in case they get out, are still intact in case they have to protect themselves. But my cats have been declawed. I have no shame in my game simply because they're spoiled, pampered animals, and they don't retain the information about when it happened. Yes, it is painful. It is an absolute painful practice. But you know what? They get over it. Your furniture stays protected, especially if they're indoor cats like mine.
All right. Ron and Debra, nice job tonight. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll talk to you guys next week.